Hello folks, welcome to the channel. If Windows is running slow on your computer, then watch this video to fix it. The first thing we need to do is to check the performance settings. So we'll go to advanced, click on view advanced system settings, and we will click on settings here, and we will click on adjust for best performance, and then we will click on apply and click on OK. Once that is done, we will again click on settings and click on the advanced tab, and then we will click on change here next to virtual memory, and we will click on system manage size and click on set. Then click on OK, and you can see that you have to restart your computer. So we will restart the computer in a short while, but before we restart the computer, we need to make sure that we update Windows. Right click on the start button, go to settings, click on Windows Update, click on check for updates. And after this is done, you can check on advanced options, optional updates, and install any driver updates here. Now we'll just close this window for a while. We'll come back to it. The next thing we need to do is press the Windows and the R key together and enter this line %temp% and click on OK. And then we need to click on one and then Control A and then delete any files that are there. We just need to delete any files in this folder, and then we can restart the computer by clicking on the start button, the power button, and clicking on update and restart. Now another thing we can do is disable the startup apps. So for that we need to go to the task manager, and we need to click on startup apps, and you can disable any you can first click on the status to bring the enabled apps first, and then you can just right click on them and you can click on disable. So try to disable as many startup apps as possible, because this slows down your system. And the next thing we need to do is update the device drivers, because sometimes the outdated drivers can also cause the system to significantly slow down. So you need to go to all of your peripheral devices like the camera and click on update, click on search automatically for drivers. You can also do this for your display adapter, your graphics card driver, search automatic, and do this for all the drivers here, your USB drivers, mice drivers, and so forth and so on. Now the next thing we need to do is to uninstall any unwanted apps. So right click on the start button, go to settings, and then go to apps, click on installed apps, and then you can see what apps you don't need, like for this one, and then click on the three dots here, click on uninstall, and click on uninstall again. Do this for all the apps on the list down here. So you can check the list down here and you can install any unwanted apps, right? Then the next thing we need to do is check for malware. So we can do that by looking for virus and threat protection, and then we can click on scan options. If you run a third-party antivirus or malware, then you need to go to that third-party app and you need to run the scan. But I'm using the pre-installed version here from Windows, so I'll click on full scan and click on scan now. While we wait for the malware app to run, we will then, after the malware app runs, we will then restart the computer by clicking on the start button, clicking on the power button, and then clicking on restart. Now your Windows should run much better, much faster, and it should not lag. But if it still does, then you have to check two hardware issues that could be plaguing your computer. One is you need to check if you're using an HDD, a hard disk drive, rather than an SSD, because these SSD are the new drives. And the benefit of these SSDs are they don't have any bad corrupt sectors. They do not have any problems with the physical hard disk of the older version, the HDD drives. HDD drives, sometimes the sectors get corrupted and cause your Windows to slow down. So you need to switch to an SSD drive, and you also need to check the RAM if the RAM is sufficient. If not, then you need to update your RAM. So I would always suggest a DDR4 or a DDR5 RAM, because these are much faster and can really speed up the performance of your computer. Now, if you have done all this and your Windows is still slow, then it could probably be because of some corrupted base Windows files. So for that, we need to first try to restore the system. So we'll go to recovery, and then we'll open system restore, and then we can either go for the recommended restore, or if you have created a different restore point, you can choose that. Click on next and then click on finish, and it will restore your system to a stable version at an earlier date and time. Now if that too doesn't work, then you can only do a cloud reinstall. So right click on the start button, click on settings, and then click on system, click on recovery, and then we have to click on reset PC. We need to click on remove everything. So before you do this, please download or backup your personal data on a third party, on a on an external drive. So click on remove everything and click on cloud download, click on next, and make sure that when you're doing this installation process, you have the internet connected at all times, because the cloud download uses the copy from the Microsoft servers. So once this is done, you just need to click on reset, and your computer will be having a fresh new copy of Windows operating software installed on your computer, and it should run perfectly. If this video helped you, then kindly subscribe to the channel. Enjoy your day.